I'd like to welcome you again once more to our platform here, the Issues Room. This is our 219th production. My name is Volcano Shelton. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. If you're there, we encourage you to invite someone else. Please share our link. Um, we're here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and midnight in Liberia and those countries within the Greenwich time zone. Thank you ever so much for your continued loyalty, your viewership, your support to this platform when we come here day in and day and night in and night out. This evening we're gonna have a good one. Quite frankly, a lot continues to go on with regards to the transition of the new government led by the Unity Party in Liberia, hoisting this coalition for democratic change government under former President Weah. We've seen a lot going on, especially in these moments of appointments made by the president. Um, a lot being talked about, spoken about regarding some of the appointees, those who were designated. Uh, the noise around the president has not given attention to his stalwarts, those who stood with him in the trenches. Uh, some folks are becoming disgruntled over the numerous appointments being made. And unfortunately, when you go into political coalition, there is a potential for, a lot of your own people to have to sit back with and give the opportunity to those who kind of joined you and supported you. And apparently this may be the case because we're seeing a lot of appointments being made in this government, and some of the folks are saying that some of these people we don't know them, we don't know where they come from. But interestingly, the president, I'm sure, is consulting with his team, the folks who are vetting, the folks who are putting names forth before those folks' names can be put on the final list that gets to him. And I'm hoping that he's not just signing, but instead checking out some things to make sure that he's making the right decision. So we'll be talking about some of the folks who have been going for confirmation hearing, uh, what is happening with regards to the hearings, and are they going to be confirmed from the way the presentation went. We're also going to be looking at the issue of this money, this $40 million that President Weah declared he left in the coffers of the Liberian coffers at the central bank. And President Boakai, rather, in his inaugural address, said that the money was not, as reported, $40 million. Instead, it was $19.5 million that was reported to him. Now, the controversy here is that the bank, the central bank governor, his deputy, and his team are saying that uh, an error could have occurred during the presentation of the figures and the input of the figures. I'm not sure how that will be, but we'll go to hear from them at some point during this conversation. We also want to quickly look at that security breach the other day with all of these EPS guys around the president, and this gentleman eased his way through the border around him, and I use the word border because they should be the buffer of with the president and the audience. Instead, the guy comes through them and decides to put his hand around the president from his chest and pull him toward him. And he claimed that he has been longing to hug the president of Liberia. Don't know when that desire came about, but who hugs a person from the back or who hugs a person unknown to them um, was just the security doesn't just take things seriously, or everyone is just complacent now that because we've had a few transitions of power, so it means that the country is absolutely safe. Could this guy be put up to it? So many things. So We're going to be looking at that as well. Also, we intend to just cover something quick with regards to Speaker Buffer Chambers, former Speaker Buffer Chambers, who just recently lost the rerun in Maryland County in Care District or Sutherland District, one of those places where they had a rerun. Um, he donated an ambulance, presidential ambulance, to the president. What's the uptick around this? Why is Buffer Chambers providing ambulance to the president? What's the symbol around it? How do you interpret that when a former speaker, one who was just the other day on the other side and campaigning against this man, decides now because he's lost his seat, and there's no more speaker, he's been booted out of the house. He takes money. I'm not sure where he takes money from or took the money from rather to purchase um, an ambulance for the president and put on a presidential ambulance, and he goes to the president to donate the ambulance. I have a different take on this, and I'm not sure why is President Boakai accepting this, because quite frankly, I wouldn't. If I were the president elect, I wouldn't. I would tell him, say, take the ambulance to Maryland County. You didn't do it for Maryland County. You didn't buy an ambulance for Maryland County for the very plebo that you claim to come from. I'm not sure what's the condition of the hospital. I'm not sure what's the condition of the hospital in Maryland County. I'm not sure. But you got money now to buy ambulance and bring it to me as the president. I mean, what that means. What that means. And Boakai is there scooping to this. What is going on? I am surprised and confused, anxious, nervous. Where are we going? Where are we going? And so we want to talk about most of these things tonight. I think one of my colleagues is ready. Let me bring him in quickly. But again, welcome to the show. This is the Issues Room. We're here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Please join us tonight. We'll have a good conversation. Alfonso, I know that you guys have to commute to get to studios, and it's understandable. But in the same token, sometimes, uh, the way I will hope that the show gets set, it is almost like I'm not sure who's coming, who's not coming, but so be it. But welcome. I've covered the bullets of what we're going to be talking about tonight, but I wanted to throw in this ambulance thing with both of Chambers. But coming with your greetings, then we'll roll the tape and we'll discuss it quick.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely correct. When we're running late, we should we should let you know. But my commute is hectic, as you know. But anyway, want to say hi to all the listeners. If you're listening, as Volcano said, please share the link and invite your friends to join. As always, the Issues Room is a very informative, educational platform for discussions.
So thank you. So as I was saying, I saw Buffalo Chambers purchase an ambulance, right on the presidential ambulance, and goes and make a donation to President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Goes to his residence and makes this donation of an ambulance. Before I play the clip, as I was saying, if it were you, would you take that ambulance?
It's a difficult question. Given the
For me,
circumstances.
it's easy. I'm not taking it, so I didn't want to hear your side.
So what I would say, my answer would be nuanced, and here's why.
Your answer would be
Um,
what?
it will be nuanced, so that it will be, it won't be black and white. So basically, I don't know, and the reason I'm saying so, I don't know the circumstances surrounding the ambulance. I just heard today, just from you, that he donated an ambulance. So I don't know whether it's his personal gift to the president, where he got the resources, whether it was something like where the whole thing came from, and also what Boakai wants to do with the ambulance. For instance, if I'm Boakai and you gave me an ambulance, I'll probably take it and give it maybe to the hospital in Town or West Point or someplace in the rural parts that need an ambulance. But also the other element is, where is he getting the resources to get the ambulance? That's why I said my response will be nuanced. Where is he getting the money to buy the ambulance now at this time? You want to answer those questions, because you don't want to get something that is stolen, then you're also implicated in the stealing.
But if you're calling for audits,
Yeah.
if you're calling for audits of the past government, if you're calling for audits of the three branches of government, then this in itself should scare you as
Mm.
Mr. President. The second part to it, for me rather, the optic is that, oh, you claim I'm gonna die, so that why you bring an ambulance to park to my house, so that they can rush me out of here when I get when heat stroke hits me, or what it is. These are the kinds of things I'm talking about. The president has the best health care. The president has the best medical doctors. The president will go for the best treatment. So he doesn't have to accept ambulance from a former corrupt speaker of the house, who just lost his seat. He didn't take this ambulance and carry it to what do you call it, place, Soto Care or wherever, and Plebo,
Libo
or
Soto
take it to Maryland County to Harper. He didn't buy ambulance for the many years he was in the house. He decides now, after he loses uh, on this quick rerun, he wants to donate an ambulance. But let's go to the ambulance quick. I mean, the clip to the ambulance, and then we'll come back. Oh, okay.
It's right there. Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. I'm coming. I kind of didn't get to it. All right, right here. Good. There we go.
So, folks, we are coming to you live from the home residence of President Joseph Nyoma Boakai,
So you see, he posed on a presidential ambulance.
Yeah.
where he received an ambulance as a gift, a donation to him. As you can see, you have the former Speaker of Liberian 54th Legislature, Honorable Buffer Chambers. So the president is walking along with his officials. On his left is the presidential press secretary, Madam Kula Fofana, and of course, former Speaker Honorable Buffer Chambers is also walking along with the president right there. So, folks, we await on the presidential press secretary to come to us in the next few 1 or 2 minutes to tell us exactly who made this donation of this ambulance. We just asked her, and she said she's made a consultation to know exactly who made this donation. But as you can see, you saw the former speaker of the Liberian National Legislature working along with the president and other officials of government. So in the next 1 or 2 minutes, the presidential press secretary will be coming to us to tell exactly this who made this donation to the president. But the president was here and he tried entering this ambulance, when around it.
These guys. Man, the kind of journalists we got. So there you say Buffer Chimbaki and made a donation, then you seen the press secretary will come to tell you who made a donation, and you seen Buffer Chimbos already showing the man all of the issues with, I mean the functions within
Thank
the ambulance and stuff like that. But gentlemen, welcome. Moses, welcome. We started this
you.
conversation with this ambulance that was donated already with presidential um ambulance written on it, and we're talking, and I said I wouldn't take it if I were President Boakai. This speaker never put an ambulance at the legislature. He never took an ambulance to the people of Plebo. He never took an ambulance to Maryland County, because if he had done so, of course, he would go public like this. But if it were you, and that's how I went on to Alfonso, will you take it? When you people already say I can die anytime, so that it's symbol now that the one will rush me to the hospital, will you take it, Moses?
I would take the gift. I would take the gift for the fact that the person who made a donation is a former official, is a Liberian
Mm.
who wants to donate to the well-being of his president. I will take the gift, but that does not in any way mean that by taking the gift, someone is going to call me tomorrow and say, I want to be Minister of State. You know,
But
uh,
so let me hold you there, and why
mhm,
I will hold you there. We
yeah.
just said that we'll audit the speaker, we'll audit the legislature, we'll audit the past government,
Mhm.
and there is no secret. You saw this man dishing out money. Where did he take the money from? You know the story with the CDC. Taking a gift at the magnitude of an ambulance, maybe that could be 300 to $400,000. Okay? You telling me here, Moses Sandy,
Mhm.
you, Mr. President, said all of these things. You would then take a gift from a man who you're supposed to be auditing,
I
who
would
did not
definitely,
declare his asset. You would
I,
take the gift, Moses?
I would definitely take the gift, and that is where I would demonstrate leadership again. I would take the gift, and we will institute the audit. And if Mr. Chima falls in the web, the law would take a course.
Alfonso, I'm disappointed.
I mean, that's
No,
my
no, no, I want to see.
disposition.
I'm disappointed. I want to see. Alfonso,
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, and Alfonso, just before you come, people who serve in leadership position, it is often said that don't take expensive gift because when you take expensive gifts, that puts you in a real difficult situation where sometimes when you have to make decisions and you wonder if I do this, this is the guy who just gave me $10 yesterday. But in this particular situation, don't forget these people they led our country for years, they looted from our country. And he turns around, he gave me a gift. I would take the gift. We will institute an audit. And if he's in the wrong, the law will take a course.
hmm, hmm,
Yeah. So as I said earlier, Volcano, it's a difficult situation. Again, I heard about it when I joined the show. I heard you talking about it. I had not seen it. So the circumstances, like, is Buffer Chamber buying an ambulance from his pocket and giving it to President Boakai, and then if It's a personal gift to President Walker. It's a gift from some organization that he's part of. I'm not aware of those things. But there's an important point here that we shouldn't miss, which is the ethical part of it. Um, President Walker has to be careful taking gifts from people, especially very expensive gifts. That is a reason why there's a reason why the code of conduct specifically spells out gifts, receiving gifts from people, and the amount of gifts that people should receive. Because not only does it has does it have to do with uh, your response, as Moses said, I will still take the gift and audit and hold the person accountable, but that's one thing. But the other thing is also the appearance, how the public looks at it, and that is very 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 important. If you remember when President Boakai, before he was inaugurated, came to DC and this Liberian, volunteered to make suits for him and his delegation, and it became an issue. Why is he taking gifts from people and those kinds of things? So you might control what you think, but you don't know the other person's desire, the reason why they're giving the gift. You don't know where they got the money from to give you the gift. As I said earlier, if the money or the item they're giving you is stolen or is corrupted, now you are tied in a web of corruption. You are tied in a web of receiving stolen material. So the president needs to be really careful in terms of who he's taking gifts from, the amount of the gifts that he's taking, and even as you said, Volcano, the rationale. Why did Speaker Chamber decide that somehow President Walker needs a presidential ambulance? And I truly understand that. Even the president of the United States or everybody have emergency vehicles in their convoys when they travel, when they go anywhere, fully equipped. But that should be something that the government provides and not an individual, especially when we don't know where the individual got the resources from. But as I said, my response will be nuanced, and so I would like to do a little more digging before being really conclusive. But it's problematic. It is problematic in my view.
Why I say that it is wrong and I wouldn't take the ambulance if I were President Boakai. This man, Buffett Chambers, had the opportunity to put ambulance at the national legislature. It would have come from his pocket. They would have infused it in the legislative budget, considering what happened to Vonnie Sherman. They had the same opportunity to put an ambulance at President Weah home. I didn't see that happen. I'm saying from my perspective, and anyone can disagree, you've already said that Mr. Boakai is an old man. Just the other day, he stood there, didn't finish his speech. And so, if we had the ambulance there, probably they were going to drag, chunk him in the ambulance and carry him. But he got in his presidential convoy and left. This symbolizes to me that you're trying to show to the world that we have an old president. Because I didn't see ambulance in Dole's convoy. I didn't see ambulance in Taylor's convoy. If I recalled, I'm not sure I saw it. But again, what I'm saying is that you had the opportunity as the speaker. You were the one who was approving the budget. You didn't do it for your locale you came from, the very people who put you there. You didn't do it for Plebo. You didn't do it for Maryland County. Now you were just the other day fighting to retain your seat through a rerun elections. You lose that election. Then you come now trying to get closer to the government by coming and meeting with President Boakai and bringing an ambulance. I will not take it. In fact, I will instruct you to take it back to Plebo or take it to Maryland and let the people there use the ambulance. As the president, in closing, he can ask the government to say that, listen, based on the circumstance, I need an ambulance all the time on site here at my residence, or an ambulance in my convoy at all times, with a medical doctor when I'm making my trips around the country, with a or not just a medical doctor, but a medical team when I'm making a trip around the country, he's entitled to that. So he shouldn't have to take something from someone who should be audited tomorrow, who you're calling for audit for. I just think that it is wrong. I stand by it, and I don't like the image of this. Honestly, I don't like the image of this.
And
It's not like you're trying to say, okay, I'm keeping your file from me, but at the same time, you need to cool, pay attention to how people going to perceive it. And I'm sure that many people will perceive it differently, just like me. I'm not holding you to say, follow me. You can enjoy your side of the coin, but I'm saying that from my perspective, I would never do it. I would never take that ambulance.
Volcano, that's where subjectivity comes in. You know,
Let's move on now because that's your
yeah.
last
Let me.
the next thing.
You said something. Let me say something about it quickly. Like I said earlier, I will take the ambulance. And look, someone can give you a gift, and you can also redirect that gift for another use. He gave me the ambulance to be in my convoy. I can also redirect that very ambulance to one of the hospitals in Liberia that needs it. I say, hey, give this to the hospitals in Plebo. Take this to JFK. Take this to wherever. I can do that. That's a gift. The only time that is going to become an issue if we hear Buffer Chimmer name on the news tomorrow as Minister of Foreign Affairs. If he gets appointed immediately, if he takes a contract to Mr. To the executive and he try to use that donation as a means or influencing the decision making, then we will have a problem. In this situation, I will take the gift and I will do the right thing. That's how
So,
we
so
handle it.
real quickly, the
Mhm.
problem here with Moses with that is that, let's say Buffer Chambers now brings business people to come and negotiate a business deal, and they get the contract. So Buffer Chamber is not directly being appointed to something. Buffer Chamber is using his influence and his connection to get things accomplished. Um, and the influence could be linked to the relationship he's building with the president, giving the president bringing a brand new presidential ambulance to the president. Again, that is the reason why codes of ethics in corporations, in governments, in the case of Liberia, the how's the law called? Um, that is the reason why codes of ethics exist in every organization and every institution. Do not get too close to people who you might have to deal with in a certain way tomorrow. Do not receive too large of gifts. Don't receive gifts in general. If you must receive a gift, it must be below a certain amount, etc. I think this is problematic and it needs to be looked into, because yeah, Buffer Chambers coming and giving personal gifts of ambulance to the president is can
See
be
that?
can be problematic. There are multiple
Oh,
things.
you said you would take a gift. So now
Uh,
what are you saying you see that for?
there's a
No, so
there's a perception issue, and I think we'll kind of talk about that later. What people think, what would people feel that everybody's just rushing to the president, giving him gifts, and he's accepting gifts from people? If a development goes to Plibo Sorokin tomorrow or to whatever, is it based upon that gift that was given? That is the perception question that you have to fight. And the president, if he needs an ambulance, doesn't need to take an ambulance from Buffer Chambers. They can put money in the budget to get an ambulance. They can put money in the budget to get an ambulance for Plibo, for River G, and etc., without taking an ambulance from Buffer. It's problematic. Again, it's a huge gift. It could be 100,000, 50,000, 200,000 dollars. Why is this man giving the president that much money? Is he donating to the country or to Boakai? Like, what is even the issue? That is problematic.
All right. So let's just say Mani Sumo say he disagree with me as the leader. You should just don't publicly show a donation. So Mani Sumo, if Bobo Chima was to come with a Rolex watch and give it to the president, he should accept the Rolex watch too, right? Because the ambulance, irrespective of what it does, is still a gift. And the government of Liberia can provide an ambulance to the president. That's the point I'm making.
And to
The
add
president
real
should be able
quickly,
to buy his own Rolex.
yeah, and for Canada to add quickly to your response to Brother Sumo, is that Buffer Chimba didn't just drive the ambulance into the president yard and then surprisingly donate the ambulance. There must have been some contacts and negotiating discussions before the ambulance got there. So he didn't have to turn the ambulance around, say, turn it around with your ambulance, go back. He could have just told him before the president, I don't want it, don't bring it
Thank you. Good
here.
point. Good point. But let's move on. So again, as it is, we're here to discuss the truth and just look at some of the things that going on. Again, we mentioned the other day that the president came out in his inaugural address that according to the money that was left, uh, as stated by outgoing president uh, George Weah, was in the tune of $40 million, and President Boakai said that was not the case. However, based on the controversy and who was telling the truth, the House of Representatives, someone in the governor, and he came with his deputy and so forth. I tried to watch this almost 2 hours. No, actually almost 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and you get nowhere. The House has presented to be so irresponsible that nobody can hear and listen to the other, and it's just noise. Even when the man tries to talk, everybody just point out information, point out this, point out that, oh, your honor, this and that, and it was just chaos. But I was able to just cue it from a point where Yimade Pearson, I believe, had something to say. So let's go to it and hear from her.
Each year that we innovate, the consolidated balances are shared with the Ministry of Finance on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we request the balances. What we do from our system is to print the balance like Grenada and US dollar. The central bank does not do FX or conversion. That is with the Ministry of Finance. That's number one. Number two, there's two numbers going around. December 31st and January 19th. The day, if you go back to the former president, he spoke as of January 19th, the final, the official, the last working day for him. In this fiscal year. In this fiscal year. Now, what we need to know, our current president now, what date did he speak of? Is it December 31st or January 19th?
Please get the chest. Please get the chest.
At the beginning of the year, the Ministry of Finance was right in the center of the so if you see the report gives you today, you have to actually you have a new account. Yeah. But it's a period of 3 months. At 3 months, which will be maybe the Q1 first quarter, the Ministry of Finance that you will break the central bank to close the 2023 account and move the money to the 2024 account. So whatever balances within the 2023 account will be moved to 2024 account. It's important this is made clear. So at that junction, then the total amount will be in the 2024 account. For our reporting purposes, we don't call legal numbers. We report per the day. So we have two accounts. We're not joining both accounts together. We're not joining 2023 to 2024. But for information purposes, we have to provide that. So if we go back to the numbers, if anybody that the conversion, which is now obvious to do, you will see there's a different number if you convert the US portion for December 30th. And if you continue the January 19th, you'll see there's a different number. And that's where the confusion comes from. But that's not the central bank to do that conversion.
I hear right to bring the numbers.
Now, the other issue is, I'm just getting clarity, and we're trying to be as simple as possible. We, and I want to be on record for this, we never had any conversation with either the president regarding the balances of the central bank of Liberia. Our report was to the Ministry of Finance. So, the transition team, they requested documents and we provided all the balances they needed. How those numbers were interpreted with all going and incoming, we can be like that.
So, gentlemen, you hear that? I believe to some degree it sounds succinct with regards to how she presented it. They only bring the balances on a daily basis and turn it to the Ministry of Finance, Development and Planning, and they are the ones who will interpret. They are the ones who will do the conversion and all of that and come up with a total amount. And they never spoke to either president. So whoever who have been, maybe Samuel Toy and the uh, John presidential team. What you make of that?
Look, my personal take from watching the governor and watching Yamane, what's her name, Madam Pearson.
Yeah,
You know,
deputy governor.
yeah, the deputy governor. Just from watching them, that speaks volume about the leadership inadequacy we have in Liberia. I watched the governor yesterday
Mm-hmm.
when he went to the house. Volcano, that man spent over 45 minutes. Just a simple clarity.
He couldn't give it.
He could not.
I'm telling you, that's why I was trying to find a better place.
He could not. He was all
was-
over the place. He
was
was
still
talking
right.
about salaries.
Yeah, you're right.
He was talking about how much they got this, how much, and the thing is very simple.
Did you tell the people 40 million or
All
19.5?
simple as that.
Yes.
He could have done that in 10 minutes. The
What are you
man
talking
was
about?
ordered.
1 minute.
You saw Madam Pearson. She could not answer the very simple question. How much did the outgoing administration leave in the cover? How much did the Boakai administration inherit? And you always say, we did not speak to any of the presidents. So where did this information come from?
And
So
to
that's
add
what I'm saying.
quickly, Moses,
That's what-
before you continue,
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
before
what I'm
you
saying.
continue,
Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
He
That's what I
said,
was trying to say. I was trying to say,
mm,
according to her,
uh,
it may have funneled through the outgoing, the former minister to or the John presidential team, who they gave documents to, and may have taken the documents and interpreted those documents their way. And while Samuel Tua, on the other hand, rubbing upon here and telling him say 40 million there, but he already finished taking 20.5 and block it away. He already know he on sanction, he going nowhere. And they say that,
It's sad, man.
and they said, no, hold on, and they say that the man cannot get in US dollar account. He has to operate on Liberian dollars to the man to 20.5 to a high somewhere so he can be operating slowly. But go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
Fonzie.
I think even, I mean, I didn't listen
Oh
to,
God.
I did not listen to the governor's statement, but just this short clip that you just played that I listened to, the lady was not even clear. Like
No,
she
not
didn't,
very.
No.
yeah, she was not clear at all. She would just be there with once she argues they didn't talk to any president, they didn't talk to the presidents. It's not your job to talk to the presidents, Madam Lady. That's not what you were called there to tell us. What did you talk to the president? If you go to President Boakai's speech, this is what he said. He said the report of 40 million as the 40 million US dollar as the government of Liberia's consolidated account balance as at January 19, 2024 is not supported by the fact. The balance reported by the CBL, on the CBL website. And I'm assuming also to the
transitional team.
Yeah, the balance reported by the CBL as of the same date was 20.5 million. So on the same day, the government of Liberia said there was US $40 million in the consolidated account balance. January 19th. On the same January 19th, the CBL reported that there was 20.5 million. Waka didn't say we went and checked the money and we
Mhm.
counted and thought it was there, not correct. It's the reports that came from
Came
the
from this
two
from the
entities.
bank.
One report from the CBL and one report from the government through the Ministry of Finance. One said 40 million, which is the finance ministry, the government, and one said 20.5 million. She didn't address that. She just said we don't report to the government. We didn't talk to any
They didn't
president.
talk to any of the
The
presidents.
president is not coming to sit down with you to talk to you. That's why the president has a transition team. You talk to the transition team and you made a report to them. So again, as Moses said, there's a professionalism deficit. I don't know if they even presented any documentations at those hearings. They just come and stand and just
Just come
talk,
and
talk,
talk.
talk, and just go.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean anything. Before you come to a hearing, you come with documents, you send documents ahead, the people review them. The staff look at those documents and do the analysis. They do chats to question you on before you even come. We're way behind. That country is far, far behind.
But let me just say this. What bothers me is that when these people come to the legislature, especially the lower house, it becomes a circus.
Mhm.
It becomes a playground. It's noisy. Listen, I don't think I can. Somebody asked me, will you run to go in where? In that house?
Yeah.
To run to be a representative in that house?
And your deputy speaker will be
And,
that
and
man who was
yeah,
sitting over there.
but the funny
Fala.
part, the problem I got with this very house, that this orderliness in this house is unmatched, and it's unacceptable to be representing the people in this kind of situation. You everybody want to carry on. They can't give the next man the opportunity to speak. They just jumping in things. You get called over, you can always hear he's just a country devil in the background all day. I can understand. But let's go back to this guy and see if we can find something here at least. But the guy is not articulated.
My man,
He didn't
forget
even
about that man.
I
Nothing
forget
will
about the
get
man,
from
right?
out of him.
Because the man even did not even do well in his own confirmation hearing.
Mm.
The man could not even represent his own resume. And yet he was confirmed
It
as
was
governor of the
confirmed.
bank.
The guy is a poor prisoner. And just to add on to what Alfonso said, given the gravity of the current situation at hand, this is where you go with a PowerPoint presentation summarizing.
But let me ask you the question,
Yeah.
Moses. Is that
Mhm.
house even prepared in that fashion?
I mean,
Uh,
I mean,
Moses, Moses, stay
the
with me.
central government has the resources.
No,
They got their
Moses,
own
no,
projector.
Moses, stay with me. Stay with me. You are talking like a leader.
Mhm.
Buffer Chambers can come and bring an ambulance, but he cannot create a presentation platform in this kinds of case as Speaker of the House. All of these things. Listen to the microphone that people even using. The audio system is poor, but they're walking away with $15,000 in their pockets.
It's sad.
Are they
So
not able to put in all of the mechanisms when you are bringing people in to make presentation? Yes, you should be able to put PowerPoint platform,
presentation.
good equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You come, you
Then you said
come
the
in.
central
And,
branch would bring the something
uh,
account set it up. The time they would
Yeah,
take set up.
so
I mean,
Central Bank even need to
the,
bring something to set up.
yeah,
Central
but
Bank
I
needed
mean,
to
what I'm
send.
saying,
Central Bank needed to come with reports,
yeah,
not
but
stand up there and try to give people a lecture. Come up with reports. Here are the figures. Here are the numbers. I mean, look at the house.
so
First of all, the reason
well,
why they're
well,
making
guys, let
all
me.
that noise,
I was
the
Alfonso,
in
reason they're
flight.
making all
yeah,
that noise is because there's no mechanism
but,
to set up microphones.
but Alfonso, you said it earlier
Yeah.
that you're not coming with report. You send the report ahead of time. The people read it. Those who don't read it, then are the business.
Exactly.
Just like when we're in the agile and we say we're doing constitution revise or revision, rather, we're revising the constitution. They do all the revision and send it back. If people have qualms, they read and they give the opinion about it. But then you don't do that when it comes to vote on on the Constitution. Then you can come back later on and say, "Oh, but I see that part. You didn't read it." So that's what should have happened. Send a report, folks read it. Then when you come, you just answer and make clarification. That
Yeah.
makes it easy. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, what I was saying, uh, to prepare, for such a critical discussion, like the both of you said, you do a summary, send it to the people in advance so that they can even be aware of the very numbers that you're coming to throw at them. So that if they have any questions, they can ask you the relevant questions. You don't go there, and talk extemporaneously. And somebody is trying to say, "Oh, nobody talked to us," and all the kind of thing. And even if you want to come across as more professional, having sent the report in advance, you do a PowerPoint presentation. This is what we generated, this is what we spent, and this is what we currently have in the account. At the time Mr. Weah made that pronouncement, this is what we had in the account. As simple as that.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to know how much you used to pay salary. Nobody wants to know how much you used to for operational costs. The argument is how much did Mr. Weah leave in the account?
And that was all
That's
you need to
all.
clarify.
And
Or
this guy took 45 minutes.
yeah, or you can
Couldn't
also,
answer.
or the question could also say, just like we've seen here, who's telling the truth?
Yeah.
40 million or 20.5 million?
Mhm.
Tell us, you know. But that's look at Flomo Livingston. They keep using one mic. The man running around to get a mic to the next man. Can you imagine the House of Representatives? They're using mic running all over the place. People
Is that what's happening? I thought they got
Oh yeah.
multiple
man,
mics.
In the Senate,
most of
they have microphones to
different.
each
Some
other.
people want to
Yeah.
think they're wrong around with one mic.
Yeah, in the house, they got to change microphone. So can you imagine if someone has COVID, you can easily contract it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The way Yaka can talk, John Spade coming, making my what? I mean, I don't know what we do with this country here, man.
Well, our people still living in the past, but
All right, so let's come quick to the next thing. The confirmation hearing. Moses.
yeah.
I seen Amin Modad. I seen the part of the Inspector General designate. I seen the Finance Minister and the LRA. I saw a greater portion of the Education Minister designated. I saw the agriculture, but I have not been able to watch it. And then lately, I thought I saw AB Kraman. Sarah Beslo Yanati was supposed to be grilled yesterday, and you called me because I was at work. And you said, "Have you seen it?" Go ahead and
The-
talk about it quick before we start the conversation.
What
Again,
happened?
these are discussions that when we
You
have,
can talk. You bring it up.
yeah, and people say, "Oh, we always like to put our country down." Uh, all nations of the world have evolved. People are moving forward. The position of foreign minister is a very important position. The foreign minister is considered the dean of the cabinet. Sarah Beslow comes to this position with a lot of, criticism regarding her academic, background. She claimed to have graduated from Cotton University. A group of Liberians challenged that.
No, she didn't say she graduated. She just put cotton on. She didn't say she graduated.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
cotton on.
so she said on her resume, but the argument out there is that she claimed to have graduated. So people are raising concern about how she got her bachelor and then moving on to her master's degree. That has become, the debate of the time. So she appears to the Senate yesterday, going for such a critical A job interview, a confirmation hearing is a job interview. That's where you have to prove who you are. What did what did Madam Yanti do? She mobilized Liberians in the numbers. Even the cultural ambassador, they told people from Nikutan to carry samba, you know, to the capital. People from her political party, they all show up. I mean, the place was overcrowded. When I saw that, I said to myself, I mean, are we still living in the past, Alfonso? You going for a job interview, you going for confirmation hearing. Do you need to carry hundreds of people? What are you trying to prove? As a result, the place became overcrowded. The number of people that show up, they enter the chambers, they breach security, and Senator Dillon had to cut the confirmation hearing off because people went and even occupied the seats of the senators. People who are gone, former diplomats, everybody show up. I saw ladies saying, "Oh, you know, in this country here, they don't bullet people too much, so we came to support Madam Beslow or Madam Yenti." All the other people who are gone there, the Minister of Education designate, she defended her credential and she told the lawmaker what her vision is. The finance minister did the same thing. The LRA board did the same thing. These people did not mobilize. They did not go to church people to come and pray. But Madam Beslow, decided to mobilize the church, the cultural troops. She brought people from Cape Man. It was shameful. It was embarrassing. I mean, I was disappointed, man. So what she did yesterday is it just puts her in a real, terrible situation. Because when people are complaining about your academic background, instead of focusing on that and providing the needed clarity, but you decided to mobilize the entire Cape Man and take them to the Senate so they can pray for you. Oh yeah, and the thing that fear. Look, and this woman is what? Former deputy chief of mission in Sudan of the United Nations. She doesn't understand diplomacy. She doesn't understand social ethics. I was disappointed.
Alfonso?
I didn't see that. Again, I've been
Play some of the videos if you have it.
I've been extremely busy the past 2-3 weeks, so
Man,
I'll
Alfonso,
listen
it
to
is
that.
shameful,
But
man.
yeah,
Did you throw it?
because
You got it in the rendezvous?
Yes.
No,
I
no,
can even send it to
no.
you.
I will check. I'll check.
Yeah,
because the allegations against her here have nothing to do with all of that stuff you're talking about, Moses. The allegations against her is that she lied on her
about her
academic
credential.
credentials. All you have to do is clarify your academic credentials. But I'm assuming she's taking it as bullying. She's taking
Mhm.
it as I'm a female and people are trying to bully me out of this job. So maybe that's why she brought all of those people to the table. But I think the thing that's going to help her more is for her to clarify her, her academic credentials, which is the boom of contention here.
Moses
Now,
is not here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You'll be talking. I will find it.
yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if
Mhm.
really she doesn't need a master's degree or whatever the case may be to be a minister of foreign affairs, that's not the issue. But if she lied that she got these degrees when in fact she didn't get them, then it's no longer a credentials issue, then it becomes a credibility issue. That you lied and you're trying to deceive people to get to a place. Therefore, you're not credible to hold this very critical and important position. That's what the question is. I think we need to hold people who are assuming public office accountable to their actions, to what they say, to what they do, whether they're trustworthy or not. So that gets to the point it gets to the heart of being trustworthy. It gets to the heart of being of credibility. If you are lying on your credentials, what next are you going to rely on? What else have you? I mean, going to lie on? What else have you lied on before to get to where you are today? So these are critical questions that she needs uh, to respond to. It's unfortunate, what's going to circus, but I mean, she just needs to clarify those things if they're not true. If they're true, the best she can do is to just withdraw from the nomination process and save the country from further embarrassment. That would be my position on that. But I mean, I'm sure it's not the what President
Go
Buhari
to the rendezvous volcano.
or the Unity Party people that are questioning her.
Hmm.
I believe it's just what they call this young man who has been doing this thing, questioning her and other people. So
Yeah.
before even going to the Senate for confirmation, if I were her, I would just make my, credentials public.
Look,
And, and maybe that will address all of the issue before even going before the legislature.
Alfonso, like you said, it is so simple. Uh, you and I went to the University of Liberia.
Mm.
If my name comes out for something tomorrow, and somebody says Moses Sandy did not go to the University of Liberia. In fact, he has a fake degree. He said he graduated from the mass comm department. I would be the first to run to the media.
Hmm.
Hey, I graduated from the University of Liberia in 1998. Yes, a copy of my diploma from the mass comm department. I came to the United States. I went to Temple. Yes, a copy of my diploma. Instead of doing that, you go into church people to pray for you. You bring the entire Grand Cape County to the capital.
I think it's not an issue of her bringing documents. She brought documents, but accordingly, those documents are still questionable based
Yeah,
on.
but that's what I'm saying.
So
Questionable.
yeah. So the other thing here, based on some of these appointments, again, something came out. The guy who was appointed as Internal Affairs Minister. I'm not
Did
sure
you
you
did
guys.
you did you see that thing? I
Yeah,
sent
the
you?
video. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, the video that he said he was going to mold a guy from the immigration during the Weah government, and he was bragging of being a rebel and how he protected his people. And if they wanted to arrest him, they can go ahead. Uh,
Who's that?
the guy that the boy guy appointed to be minister of
Internal affairs.
Oh, internal affairs.
yes, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that.
Former Representative Nyamalin from.
Yeah, and I'm hearing his boy guy's relative. I think there's
I
some.
know they're all from Lofa.
Yeah, but someone
Yeah.
said that they're cousins, I believe.
Okay. Well, I
So,
think he just robbed himself of the job.
but as I'm about to ask you guys, should he be confirmed or should Boycott?
Of
Hold
course
on, hold
not.
on, I'm coming. Should Boycott leave it to the Senate to do that, or should he just recall him?
So
No,
so let me come in real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
I don't think Mr. Nyamalin committed any crime. And I mean, I don't think President Boakai should withdraw his nomination at all, except the Senate.
What's going on with you guys here tonight? What a man is? Go ahead, first name. Is this Samuel?
I don't
Whoa.
know, something like
You Mali? That
he's
the
the
guy? No.
representative.
I know. I think his first name is either Samuel. And let me
He's the representative who was defeated by this guy in Foya. But
Yeah, the Yumali.
Nyamalin, but I
Yeah,
don't know
Yumali,
his.
yeah. He went to BWI.
So, and here's what I'm saying. And I'll find it. Saying you're looking for his name, Volcano.
Volcano, the videos are there. I sent a couple of them.
nothing here from me.
But may go to rendezvous.
I keep going to the place. I say it's not showing.
You want me to share it on my personal page? Then you can grab it from there.
What video you talking about?
Regarding Baslo.
No, it's over now. We're done with that
I
conversation.
mean, it's
We're
good for
moving
us to
on.
show that video.
Moses, we're here for a specific time. We're done with that.
Okay.
People have seen that the video. A lot of people, our viewers, seen it. Yeah, go ahead. You were saying that Boyka shouldn't recall him. Go ahead.
No. I mean, he made a statement during the elections that there was an immigration guy who was going around Foya terrorizing people. And if they didn't withdraw the guy, he himself was going to find the guy and with his group of people and kill the guy. That's what he says. He didn't kill the guy. He did not attack the guy. We all know that there were a lot of,
So a murderous threat.
you know,
He bragged about being a rebel and how he got men with gun and all of that, and he can do anything.
well,
Like
we
how
have
he
several, with thousands of Liberians were rebels. If we disqualify all of them, we'll be left with maybe 5% of Liberians.
but
So so
when we
so
start
that's
a new
not a
page,
disqualification.
Alfonso, you go, you didn't want to become president. You made some kind of regular statement in your past, and the people raised it to my concern. I would say because that old thing, or everybody said it, or everybody does this, so I would let you
No,
go.
no,
Because
no, that's not.
it's on podcast.
No,
It's
that's
on
not what I'm
podcast.
saying. Let's draw a line here. There are two issues on the table that you raised. One, the statement that he made during the election period when there was election violence
Yeah,
in Foya.
I heard he was
Two
very
people
angry.
got killed in the election violence in Foya, and one that he was a rebel. Those are the two things I'm addressing. I'm addressing the rebel component before I come to that other issue. There are a lot of Liberians, thousands of Liberians who were rebels. What we should be focused on is not whether or not you were a rebel or you fought with one group or the other, but that you commit crimes when you were a rebel, that you do things that were against the law when you were a rebel. I think that's what our focus should be. So that's the line I was trying to draw. Now the other issue as to the statement that he made, again, we all know during the election time what was happening in Foya. There was a situation where United Party people were marching in Foya, and the CDC people, led by Fala, who is now deputy speaker, attacked them, and two people got killed in the process. And they continued the rampage. There's a video, as a matter of fact, that I can show you from the same Foya, where an official CDC was saying that they should change all of the police forces, they should change the magistrate, they should change everybody and make all of them CDC, so CDC can decide to do whatever they can do in FOIA. And that's exactly what happened. And they were talking to the same Thomas Fowler. And he made that change before that United Party demonstration. So this man said, this man you're sent here is terrorizing our people. If you don't stop him, I and my people will grab him and kill him. I don't think that should disqualify him from being minister.
Hmm.
Well, I did. Has he gone for confirmation yet?
No, he
I
just
think that's
his appointment
yesterday's
was yesterday.
appointment.
Yeah.
Hmm?
His appointment was yesterday.
Yeah, he was appointed yesterday. I watched that video. He was very angry, uh, as a result of what happened, and he made particular reference to a police commander that was mobilizing people against
Immigration.
supporters of
Immigration.
the Unity Party. So we shouldn't say, well, the president should withdraw him now. But what can happen is that he should be ready to go to the Senate to defend whatsoever that he said. Now the ball is in the court of the Senate. There are normal individuals that I think that I would say that in terms of nominees that the president has to begin to think about either withdrawing. You know, I would strongly recommend that the nomination of Madam Yanti, Sarah Baslo Yanti, that nomination should be withdrawn. Because if this woman cannot clearly tell Liberians how she acquired her degrees, or her degrees are in question, and instead of her addressing that, she instead focused on putting women against men. Oh, she's a lady. This cannot be about she's a lady. She's going for she was appointed to a high profile position. She has to demonstrate to Liberians that she's honest. To be a dean of the cabinet, you need somebody with integrity. You don't want the foreign ministers that will show up to the United Nations tomorrow and people begin to say, oh, she's the one that, her credentials were in, question. You don't want our foreign minister going to the AU and journalists putting microphone to her, asking her, so what's the status of your academic credentials now? You don't want that. And let me also, maybe other people don't know this. When this lady was in South Sudan, Volcano, as deputy representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations, when she headed the humanitarian group there, as she was the coordinator there in South Sudan, and there's a refugee camp called Mekala that provided or that continues to provide accommodation for Volcano for 37,000 people. When she was coordinator, there were media reports about sexual exploitation by UN workers, by MSF workers, by other individuals who provided services to the internally displaced. As we speak right now, that situation is being probed. Madam Yenti is aware of that. She even spoke about it, but the problem remains unresolved. UN workers under her supervision sexually molested female as young as 15. As young as 15. It was widespread. The guys were renting homes and sexually molesting, ladies when she was in South Sudan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so I mean, as it is, I seen a list that came out. I'm not sure if you guys were privy, but it came from
The new list?
Came from a credible source. I know this source, so
That's for today.
yeah. So
Okay.
what we see here is Stephen Johnson, the guy who is on Spoon Talk.
Yeah.
He's now appointed as Director General for Liberia National Lottery Authority. My man eating over there, chopping there.
I mean, the Larry is there.
My man about chopping
No,
over.
my man, Bagaza, he just trying to push people somewhere.
So we have Mohammed S. Kromah,
Uh-huh.
Deputy Managing Director for Administration National Port Authority.
Who Mohammed Kroma?
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Sekou Fofana, Assistant Minister of Commerce for Trade. Augustine Faya,
Yeah.
Managing Director, Liberia Telecommunications Corporation.
Okay.
Robert Morris, Deputy Director General for Technical Services, General Services Agency.
Okay.
Baba Conte, Assistant Minister for Development Planning, Ministry of Finance. Clarence Massaquoi, Director General, the Corporate Development Agency, CDA. Reverend Luther Tape, Assistant Minister for Construction, Ministry of Public Works. Can you imagine? Is this?
Yeah, man.
I don't think this is a serious thing. Boakai Jalaba, Deputy Director General for Administration, GSA. Seraphine Dan, Deputy Director General for the Liberia Business Registry. Musa Toure, Director General of LBS. I don't know who that is. Abdullah Kiatamba, Deputy Minister, Press and Public Affairs, Ministry of Information, Mente Eugene Job. Patrick Honor, Assistant Minister for Special Services, Ministry of State without portfolio. Aloysius Frimer, Minister of Post and Telecommunications. Baron Brown Jr., Deputy Managing Director for Technical Services, Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company. John Bowie, Assistant Minister for Administration, Ministry of Education. George Kalon, Ambassador, United Nations. Mo Ali, Managing Director, Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. And George Lobo from the Informative Drive. If that is true, Deputy Director General for Rural Broadcasting, LBS.
But how do you take Noble
Lobo,
and
Lobo.
send him to LBS. He's not a journalist.
The man had a talk show. So
So by having a talk show that qualifies you to become deputy at LBS,
especially in the
and
era
the man is deputy for broadcasting. Does he understand radio content or television content?
road broadcasting. No, no, listen. The people
But you know why?
this,
Who's a signatory to that press release?
again the press release is signed by the press secretary, but it's still the people say you got to get it from the executive mansion website.
Yeah, let's see what
Yeah,
let's see what it looks
but
like.
you see, but all the time, most of the things can be so close though, because
Yeah,
the more Ali go into water and see what I've been hearing about it. But Luther Tape, assistant minister,
hey, man,
hey man, what's going
man,
on?
Luther would have. And honestly, and this is not a
The same,
campaign for anybody.
the same thing that we are did to mobile model. Now I remember back want you to Luther.
But
Lut- How can Luther be
what are
assistant
Luther's
minister?
credentials?
Oh, but Luther, I think Luther has a doctorate.
No, no, yeah, I think
Dr.
he
Luther
has a
Tappet,
theology
Yeah,
degree, and
yeah,
that,
he
that
also has master. He's a professor. He teaches in Liberia.
yeah.
He teaches.
But I don't think that they were saying the
where
public
he
was
teach
from.
theology or
No, maybe if the same.
No, he said beside I listened to him on spoon. Besides theology,
mm,
he teaches other courses in Liberia.
Listen now. Okay,
Mhm.
the man is for construction. All the man need to do put a helmet on, put a screwdriver on his side with a hammer.
but construction is an important
Ah,
position.
I mean, you gotta have an engineering
All
background.
the
I thought so.
construction, huh? Yeah, well,
You gotta have an
You
engineering
understand
background.
that?
But yeah, I just thought to throw this in there. So Moses, let's
No,
come.
but it's good to throw it out. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not true, then so be
Mhm.
it. But who is this Musa Toure going to LBS?
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
that name.
That name sounds strange.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, as time goes by, we get to know who is who. But one of the concerns I have, and we all pray for the administration to succeed. But if we're going to succeed, then we need to look at individuals that are appointed in government, the areas in which we send them. You cannot take a carpenter and send him to LBS to run broadcasting. That would be horrible. Because and I'm not trying to say that Mr. Noble is a carpenter. I'm just being hypothetical yet. But Mr. Noble is not a career broadcaster.
but
He
my
has
man,
limited understanding
we
of
already said this. Listen, this is not on the executive mansion website, so we shouldn't accept it. So,
so
the list, like I said, the list came from
so
the
so
so what I heard
so
today,
the guys are making mockery of Mo Ali there.
yeah, I think people just throwing lists out there. It's important to go to executive mansion website because people have been throwing lists out there all throughout.
Yeah.
yeah, but I checked there. I didn't see any list on the executive mansion website.
I
But I
mean, I
just
can
thought that it is a teaser, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We in the issues room. We
But
looking
let's,
at the
but
issue.
let's, yeah, I think we should discuss the justice minister designate because I've heard a lot
Yeah,
about him.
yeah.
It
If
is.
I,
It is being
alleged
speculated.
that he's been withdrawn, and Prince Johnson
Uh,
want
I
to
I
jump.
listened to him. I
Prince
listened to
Johnson
him
want to jump from
this evening.
Matimba.
Eh? I
Prince Johnson
listened
want
to
to jump
him this
from
evening,
Matimba.
Okay.
and I don't know how credible is it. That's something that came on him, which has to do with. It's almost like what happened in the case of Funati Kofa. There's this allegation that a company that was involved with agricultural work in Liberia and Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
It is alleged that he took $48,000
Mm-hmm.
from because he was the lawyer for the company, and he misdirected that money. But I heard him say today that what you know was reported in the media about him and the individuals involved. he's saying that the story is inaccurate.
Mhm.
So that has to be further investigated to better determine who is saying the truth, because
Something
the
similar to
media
that guy.
reported.
You remember the guy who was appointed as justice minister by Weah, the Charles Gibson guy?
Oh yeah, Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, who was also a
And we
lawyer.
all thought that Gibson should not, and they withdrew him.
Yeah.
So he, again, someone going to the Ministry of Justice who will be the Attorney General, and, should be somebody with high, moral standing. You cannot have questionable, character and they send you to become Attorney General. So I hope the vetting committee will do some work to really get to the core of this matter.
But so let me say this quick, and you and Alfonso can weigh in on this.
Yeah,
Why is it that the only reason why these people run to political parties, cross carpet support, is only to work in government? And they're not doing anything to strengthen the private sector. Let's say, for instance, you have a 5.2 million people in the population. If you employ 70,000 people, you still haven't done nothing.
but
Nothing
this is
have you
up in
done.
the bucket, my man.
Nothing. And even the investment, the private investment in Liberia, it's not hiring Liberians like that.
Mhm.
What I'm hearing at ArcelorMittal, they're bringing a lot of foreigners to work. People from South Africa, India, other places.
Mhm.
The Lebanese, the Indians, they're bringing their own people to do performance and stuff. The only few Liberians that are working for them are the laborers, the one that go in the back of the warehouse to bring the goods outside. But other than that, so how many people are being employed in the private sector? So if the government is coming now and you can see the scramble for positions, the cry. I mean, I'm hearing the what the guy named the Lucini Camara people king, they were pulling the woman's shirt from one side. Prince Johnson people king, they were pulling the woman's shirt from one side. Up to now, we even hear anything about Apeton and Una people yet. We have not seen Mandela Cooper and her appointment yet. We ain't see nothing going on with Sarah Deslow. She come now for her to take her little one spot. It already muddy. The situation is muddy. But why is it that we have not been able since the war to restore the private sector, make it solid and stronger to employ our people? Rather, everybody wants to work for government. If you saw the video today, this evening, with Luther Tapper meeting with disgruntled
Yeah,
UP people, and
partisans,
what he said. Let me try to find that. But that tells you that everybody wants something. Everybody wants a job. But everybody can't work in the government. I am surprised that you would bring. I look at the National Defense Ministry. I'm not sure if you guys seen the appointment.
Oh yeah,
The chief
yes.
of staff, you're making the minister. That the only three military men, the Zanka and the Prince Johnson, are the only two military men that went
Yeah,
to.
no other person in the country, man.
Yeah, so the whole military of 2,000 people. Hmm?
So
Then you take the Gregory Coleman, bring him back again. So all the other police people that have been in the police department for all these years, that the only person. So I'm just not understanding what is happening here, when we continue to bring the same people back time and time immemorial. And it's just for this one little 70,000 job. I don't know if Baga going to reach it to 100,000, because according to where Eddie Levy was 30, and we are
increase it.
increasing
But
for
if
40,000.
you increase it to 100,000, then you will not be able to pay the people,
I was seeing. So if I
because
say, yes,
right now you're using 80 to 90% of your
yeah,
income on recurring expenditure.
Well, President Boakai himself mentioned that in his State of the Nation address, that the public sector employment is bloated and it needs to be cut, because basically what's happening is that the wage bill is taking all the money, therefore there's nothing left to provide social services to the people, to do infrastructural development, etc. So definitely, I do not believe that he's going to increase um, the civil service. I think he's going to cut it, um, or he should cut it. But having said so, I think there's been a lot of missteps in terms of his appointment of people to positions, and he needs to act quickly to correct those problems. First of all, it's taking too long, too much time for him to make his appointments. And in that vacuum, that the judge we are, people who are left over running those institutions. Meanwhile, the transition period has already ended. So the people have already gone and gotten reports and everything. If it takes you another month to appoint somebody to that office, the person who's in that office can do anything within that month and leave. You don't have record of that. Now you have to go and create new record, if you want to, which will be a problem. So it needs to move quickly. The second thing is that he talked about 100-day deliverables. Within 100 days, we accomplish, they will accomplish that. Well, yeah, if you don't constitute your government, it makes it difficult for you to accomplish those things that you say you will accomplish within 100 days. That's another reason why he needs to move as quickly as possible. I know they now set up a vetting committee. I wish that vetting committee was set up during the transition period. Like once he won the election, set up the vetting committee so they'll start looking at people because they should have known right from the get go that all of the political parties and politicians who came to join them to help them in the process would have wanted jobs because that's what happens in Nigeria, unfortunately. So set up a committee, ask the people, say, Mr. Appleton, since you say you want these three jobs, for each job, bring three or four names. We'll vet them, the right person will appoint the right person.
I agree.
Yeah. I think what they started doing is okay, Mr. Appleton, you say you want Minister of Internal Affairs, bring your Internal Affairs person. Appleton brings the person to put the person there, then they find out later that the person has shady character, that the person is not qualified, that the person lied on their academic credentials, etc., etc. That is a problem. I'm glad that they have appointed a vetting committee now to be looking at it. I can only hope that it moves as quickly as possible.
Let's hear from
As
Peter.
the chair of the party. Is the audio on?
There's one coming.
I want to say to you, the president has the power to appoint. It is his constitutional right. And you, as a citizen, you have a right to express how you feel. So, what I would say to you, even if you want to exercise the democratic rights, to express to him how you feel, you're welcome to go and express how you feel. Don't do it in a violent way. He's the president of the republic. We put it there. All of us around here pay the price and so brother to become president. Yo.
When you tell you not have people wake up,
Zayo,
people wake up,
And so I would say to you this morning, don't worry about me, I'm okay. I'm very fine.
but we are not fun.
But if you are not fine, I would say to you, go and spread yourself. You are not 35. Go to the president.
The hope of the ordinary people depends on you.
You are not 35. We, nobody thought that Unity Party was going to win this election. Ordinary people like you took on the challenge. Oh, yeah. Your community, some of you were threatened. Oh, yes.
Seriously, I want to this.
I lost my house and the other lost my family.
Yes.
But the same JMB presidency.
Yes.
Finally become president.
Where?
We will want him to succeed. It's too early. I know how you feel. But it is also your right to go there and tell him how you must do it peacefully. He's the president of the republic. He must be accorded the respect that is due him. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Whoa, we're gonna take care of.
If he will change his mind for any service, we are here.
Yeah.
But let GMB and any Liberian leader be reminded that it's no longer going to be business as usual.
No way. Thank you.
When the people put you there, you got to listen to them.
Yes.
So go express your feelings,
Yes.
feel about this and what's going on. He's a wise man. He's a man who listens.
Yeah.
I don't think you will see out your gate and ask the soldier to beat you. You are the bosses. From GMB to everybody, we work for you.
Sure.
We work for you. So if you're not happy about anything, you can express it. Going forward, let Liberian leaders know that the main bosses are the people.
Yeah.
And when the people are not happy, the leader will not go well.
Yes. That's my baby boss. That's my baby boss. That's my baby boss.
So I want to say to you, go there. You must demand you want to see the president.
Okay. Yes.
Sure. When it was time for the campaign,
Yes.
he came to you and said, "You're being president, you will see what I will do."
For sure.
And you gave him the mandate.
Yes.
Go there and demand you want to see him.
That's beautiful.
I am very sure he's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Don't be violent. We made the president, he will listen to us.
Okay.
Go in peace. When I'm needed, I will come and speak.
Thank you.
We have called all the other people who heard about this revolution
Yes.
for your upliftment, and no human being, born or woman, will hijack this revolution.
No way.
They will make it for their family.
Yeah.
Most of you are not doing this for yourself, your children to be did it for.
Yeah.
And it's too early for people who did not do witness what happened.
Nothing.
It's only a day when we're in the cooking water. And I know the president will listen to you.
I'm sorry, yeah. Thank you, brother.
What was this?
Yeah.
So, what you guys pick up from this? Do you think that Luther handled this the right way? Let's start with that first.
I think Luther
Go ahead.
mobilized.
Alphonso, go ahead.
I think Luther mobilized those people. I think Luther
It's not need
organized.
low.
Oh, sorry. Why is it that low?
Go ahead, you good. Was it?
Oh.
Was it not?
Okay.
I think Luther organized it. I think Luther mobilized those kids and put them together to go speak on his behalf. That's why I gather. Even his statement suggests that. Go and demand to see the president. I'm good. But you're putting there when we're in the trenches. Nobody is going to come from outside to come hijack the revolution, etc., etc. Those are statements that suggest to me that Luther is in the know, that he really organized this. In fact, what the children are saying is that Luther doesn't have a job as yet. They haven't appointed Luther. So that is the grievance that they have. And Luther is telling them, go to the president and demand to see the president, and he's supposed to see you because you are the one who put him there, etc., etc.
And not only that, when he was looking for presidency, he the one coming to y'all,
He won't come into you.
picking y'all.
Yep. So with those statements clearly tell me that Luther is disgruntled, that he hasn't been appointed to a job. And he mobilized those kids to come together and to make noise on his behalf to put pressure. He also probably feels that there are other people who were not in the mix when they were quote unquote struggling and are now getting jobs, and so he's doing what he's doing, which is sad. It's sad because Luther is the chairperson of the Unity Party. He should be calming people down, and he should be on the table addressing them, not instigating.
Yeah, and that's what I say. It's not leadership like, and I don't think that the Amimo dad that I know will have taken that route. But let me hear from you, Moses.
Well, you know, the chairman is a human being like any of us. And some of the stories that we hear out there, all is not well in the UP regarding the appointments. It's my understanding that even Mo Ali and others would rather work behind the scene to bring this administration to where it is today. Some of the guys went to the Capitol yesterday to literally talk to lawmakers to intervene on their behalf. What we are what we are experiencing now is the same thing that happened with we administration when it came in. A lot of people who contributed, even I know a personal friend of mine who contributed significantly to the administration when Mr. Weah got to the presidency. He had no asset to the presidency. A lot of people are not happy. Some people are even saying that some people have overshadowed the leadership of the UP when it comes to who goes where and why. I know the president has the appointing power, but sometimes it's good to do a reflection. And I'm not saying that he's not doing that, but I'm just speaking in open.
Mhm.
That people are not happy.
Mhm.
People are literally scrambling for jobs. You see people making mockery of this guy.
But let's come back. Let's come back. Let's stay on tax because I got my own points to make, and I gave you the opportunity because you're losing your time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, then let me just say this: as the chairman of the party, you are the conduit through which the people can interact with the president at this point, and even the standard bearer. Let's just say if Boakai was not the president, you are the conduit. You are put in that place to be the mouthpiece, to be out there, your secretary of the party, working along with your team, your cabinet, however you want to put it together. And when there's firestorm, you're the one coming to bring the water to quench it. Luther had no leadership presence on his face. You could sense the tension, his attitude, his posture. Uh, the no child born of a woman can come and hijack this revolution when we're in the poo water. Those are not statements that should come from the
No,
party,
that should not.
okay? Or inciting the people that they have the power to demand to see the president, and he doesn't think the president will send men to beat him up with gun or whatever, and he's a wise man. But if you know that the president is a wise man, at what point are you not seeing the president now? Is it a Mobile Molu and the George Weah era? At what point are you not seeing the president? So if you have this situation that has come to your desk as the party chairman, you will bring your people around and say, hey guys, we just started this thing. We even haven't started operating yet. Most of the appointees have not even been confirmed to officially take the jobs. We know that 70,000 people will make up this government and potentially could reduce or increase. But as it is right now, let's just exercise some patience. However, those of you who are coming, give me your credentials. We'll review the credentials with the credential people to see where some of you can be placed. So the people in down there, I don't think they won't be minister. They just want somewhere to go to find, something to go to and say they're working. And you do that. But rather than stand there and be so emphatic about, I would be okay. I would be okay. Yes, you will be okay. But the other guy said, but you okay, but we not okay. Right? So instead of saying it's all gonna be okay, he's personalizing it as right now, you see me, I ain't even got nothing. You saw my whole house got burned down. The people burned my house, they burned my car, my family could have gotten killed. So you're not the only one that were in the poo water. We were all in the poo water, but you see what happening? Where some people coming from now? I can see Boakai again. Is he saying that he can see Boakai? Because he didn't say, I will take you all to the president or I will discuss with the president that you guys want to have an audience with him. He said, y'all go there. Y'all should go there.
And
That's not,
demand.
yeah, that is not the behavior of the chairman of the party. It is irresponsible. That small little whatever, I won't call it a speech, but it was just irresponsible for him to have come across like that with less than 2 weeks in power. This is your power. This is your government. At what point now that you cannot see Boakai? At what point now that the Unity Party has become disintegrated and factionalized? At what point the Unity Party has become the disunity party? So you got your Unity Party becoming the disunity party. At what point? And some of the folks who are being appointed are political collaborators. You couldn't have won the presidency by yourself, and you know it. So there is the president current appointments must come from different supporters, from different alliances. That's why he failed to realize this is not a unity party government. It is a unity party alliance, unity alliance government. So there are other political institutions that put in the resources in the second round, that put in, that convince the constituencies to cast the votes for President Boakai. So everyone has a stake in the matter. So I don't know where all of this coming from and why, because this is not good for the change that we were looking for. I myself want job, but I'm going to go fight for a job, because at the end of the day, what for you would be for you. But to say that, oh, everybody here got to be, now, my man, I see my man using Fagon this time on Spoon. I don't know. I want
taking a man
now
job.
did not get a job. So what's going to happen now?
Can that one make him
I'm giving you an example. Is he going to come back on Spoon and deal with Boakai? Okay. At some point, Liberia is bigger than all of us.
It's gonna be okay.
Your life cannot change because other people's lives change since this so-called war. Since this so-called war, we've seen people whose lives changed by working in government, becoming overnight millionaires. Is this the new way that people can get wealthy? Is that the route that every Liberian must go now? That you must go in government? This is not fair to the country and its developmental progress that should be made. I understand that Boakai would not make the best appointment for everybody, because some of those appointments that he's making, they're coming from the alliance. It is the promises they made when they were about to go to the runoff. They converged, they had meetings. When people were going to Weah, their camp was afraid. When Lucini went and took pictures with Weah, their camp was afraid. Other people went and met with Weah. The Unity Party camp was afraid, because they were the only two parties going into the second round. So when these other people decide to forge an alliance with you, you should know that political collaboration must be paid. Okay? The collaborators need to be paid as well. So it's going to be a tough one, but quite frankly, everyone needs to see it from the bigger picture. The people who are going there must mean well for the country. The people who are going there must move the country forward. And those who we catch early and say, no, this person got tinted character, don't be like the George Weah, who kept people who the world cried about, the Americans cried about, who did nothing about it. I would say, for me, from my perspective, the best that Mr. Boakai can do, whenever there's small fire, go there, send your arsonists, your investigators, look at this fire, the cause of the fire. If we can quench the fire, we quench the fire. Do not let things to perseverate, to be on the water, and continue to thrive. Address every issue. The issue we're talking about with Sarah Yanti Beslow, address it. The issue with this guy now, Francis Newmanley, address it. The issue with Kura, the designee for justice, address it. At the end of the day, Liberia is bigger than all of us. Prince Johnson. Every other day he was making fun. You saw him making fun of President Boakai. The
No.
man's a foolish man. You're making fun of the president. You were talking about the walk around thing. Then he talked about how that man will bring walk around. Look how he go read his speech. He even finish his speech. He just went back out.
As soon as he reached the walk around part,
Walk
Yeah.
around
then,
in there.
Then he fell off. You know,
Mhm.
nonsense. But that's what I'm saying, gentlemen. We just got to look at it from that perspective. I know it's not going to be easy. The people who said themselves getting appointed, they themselves worried now because they themselves got friends.
yeah,
For instance, in those ministries,
Yeah.
eh? People
Yeah.
got friends. You got your qualified friend. You ain't coming make him your deputy because you don't have the appointing power to make him deputy.
Yeah,
But
but
you
you
want to
need
put
to
him,
find
put
something for
him in a
him.
department too that he can impact your work.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen here?
I think
I
I
mean,
think
go
so.
ahead.
So the president has set up a committee, a
Oh,
vetting
so
committee.
that they had a cart before the horse. Now they're flipping
So
it.
now they reverse it and put
Oh,
it in
okay,
reverse. So the
okay.
president has set up a vetting committee. Interestingly, Mr. What's his name? Luther Tappe is on that vetting committee. He's on the vetting
But all
committee.
the appointment gone now. So
Well, no, several appointments still remain.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah, and as you said, Volcano, the vetting committee actually represents all of the parties that came together. For example, the vice president is Jeremiah Pankun is on the vetting committee. Of course, that's MDR representation. You have Alex Tyler on the vetting committee. That's from his own party. You have Yumbly Kanga Lawrence on the vetting committee. That's the Liberty Party. You have Darius Dillon on the vetting committee. You have Senator Prince Moyi on the vetting committee. You have Senator James Barney, and you have Minister Sylvester Grigsby, and you have Up Chairman Luther Tappett on the vetting committee. So these people, my understanding, my assumption is the coalition people from the different parties will bring their different lists or whatever. Those groups would then vet whatever names they bring and make sure that they're competent, they don't have dare on them, and then make the recommendation to the president. There are two people that are supposed to present the list to the president once the committee agrees upon. Gafuan and somebody else will present the list, will take the list to the president and say, this is what the vetting committee has agreed on. So the process is ongoing. As you said, they put the cart before the horse, now they reverse it, they put the horse now, and the horse will be drawing the cart. I hope that they move as quickly as possible. So TAPE still has the Unity Party still has a say. So that's why I expected TAPE to say here. And what he said was simply instigating and trying to create a situation where the other people who came and help them shouldn't get jobs, and that's not right.
And in fact, you should be
Yeah,
covering the parties
yeah,
that are close.
exactly.
You don't bring it out to the public and watch the parties that are close.
Yeah,
You, the chairman, you should be
yeah,
pacifying things, stabilizing things. Honestly.
yeah.
But now I'm confused here. We see Minister of State will all portfolio, then they got another Ministry of State side, that other Ministry of State.
They got
They,
Minister of
I
State and
think
they got
they
Minister of
appointed
State
a
without
minister of state
portfolio.
without portfolio
I understand, but
and assistant minister of state without portfolio as
I
well.
saw another Ministry of State and Ministry of State with all portfolio and another portfolio. But anyway, so the situation now as it is, do you think that all is well?
Of
Let's
course
close
not.
here because it's 8:45. We got to do memory lane and whatever country we got.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
all is
have to
not well.
run and I have to
So
run at
we leave here at 9 o'clock. There's
Mhm.
no way around it.
yeah.
All is not well.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, there are
Moses,
people happy.
Moses, sorry. Jeremiah, I gotta run right now. I have 15 minutes to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. There are people who are happy, and there are also people who are not happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is when the leadership we have to intervene and try to bring people together and find solution to this problem. I know people making mockery of other people in Monrovia. Take for example, supporters of the United Party that left the United States and went to Liberia. Guys who went thinking that it would have taken them a week or so, they will be appointed in government, and they are still lingering. They're not even sure as to whether they're going to get appointed. So, if you left your job, yeah, you have a time limit.
Also,
If you overstay,
let me say this quick.
yeah.
There are two things happening here. There are people who really want to go work in government.
Hmm.
Some are doing low well here, but they feel that the stability for them,
Yeah, to contribute, yeah.
and take the word contribute away. The stability for them is in Liberia, but why in Liberia they can get rich compared to what it is here. Then there are those of us who want to stay in Liberia. We want to return home, but we don't want to return home to nothing, right?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, the decision lies with a person who is able to generate some kind of sustenance for his or herself in Liberia while you pursue other employment opportunities. It may not be the salary you're looking for. In fact, the government job salary, the ministers, I think the salary is between $3,000 and $5,000. $3,000 and $5,000. Even though it comes with a low clout and but it's $3,000 and $5,000. Now, if Boakai is serious about corruption and people are declaring asset, then why run, excuse me, to Liberia to think that you're going to go get rich? Because as soon as you start stealing and building, they will ask you, but this is what you did, you had, and this is now what we see. That is if Boakai is serious, right? So I've
Yeah.
been thinking about it.
Hmm.
Why leave your little decent job here? You're not under pressure. Every 2 weeks, your little thing dropping. You sure of it. To go to a country now where everybody's scrambling, honestly, where the government itself does not know how much it inherited, the outgoing government does not know how much it left there. We're going back to to deja vu when we are walking away with 16 billion and 25 million and all of that, and no here, no tail. We're coming back to another situation of this. The government, if it only has 20.5 million, it can't even pay the $80 million for civil servants. How many civil servants are not paid or have been unpaid? To what extent? So what are the things this government going to do miraculously? Put us in more debt? We are left us in debt. In debt, right?
In
Debt,
fact, that I
debt.
think you're minimizing the.
Okay. So
he,
what would this government do
he
again?
left us. He
Go,
left us with a
go,
burden,
go,
overwhelming burden.
go, and then continue to borrow to be able to meet its economic needs.
Yeah.
So when you're deciding to go to Liberia, to go be hanging on a thread that you're not sure when you will get paid, even though you just want to show up to work because you think the hustle there, the chopping there, the corruption there, then you're on your own. Then you're on your own, because I would pray that Boakai should be serious about it. If I went to Liberia to work, pay me for what you have hired me for, and I agree to. When you go look for a job, right? You look at the job profile, you apply to it. Sometimes they may not disclose the salary. You go for the interview, you have the right to ask at that
Yeah.
point. And the person say, oh yeah, you say, oh, I thought the job paid about 100,000. They say, no, the job at 50,000. You have the right to say, no, I can't do it. And let them continue to look.
Hmm.
So don't be thinking that in this new dispensation, all gonna be well, even in the first year, even in the second year. I don't see it happening. It's gonna take some time. And people who left up to now and you hear your name yet, your name not on the list, you better start thinking about coming back before you lose your job on this side. That's my perspective on it. If you want to say one meaning quick, let's go to memory lane and then move on.
Look,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
it is well said. We have spoken a lot on this topic. Let's just go to memory lane.
All right. So memory lane by Dr. Mani Sumo. He continues in the same realm. The topic is, or title rather, is A Nation of Think Tankers. Where are they? And this is part two. A nation of think tankers. Where are they? And this is part two. Even in the animal kingdom, where stupidity is the order of the day, sense is essential. During summer, the ends peacefully, respectfully, and in loyalty and love for the team to work together to collect food and other needy items in preparedness for the winter. While we humans, during the summer, we prepare divisive politics, hate speeches, rockets, and grenades launchers to bomb our fellow man during the winter. Sad, sad indeed. During winter, we human elites sleep in peace, eat the best, dances to our tune of music, while our human masses sleep in the cold, goes to bed hungry, died from preventable diseases, beg in the streets, like they say, an empty bag cannot stand. So they have no appetite for music and dance. Yet we the elites parade in self-esteem as in the cause of the people the struggle continues. Liberians, Liberians, it is you I am talking to. Yes, you and me. Ye who have not sinned, be the first to throw a stone. During the formative days of Liberia, our forefathers played the role of think tankers. They gave their time to nation building. They laid a foundation, not the best of the foundation, but may argue, or rather, one may argue, but a foundation you and I can improve upon. Yes, a foundation we can turn into paradise or into a paradise. Yes, they did. So, are we improving our inherited foundation or are we breaking it down? Our National Culture Center was sold and bulldozed. Our National Museum turned into a laughing stock. Our historical sites, including the Sapo National Park, are abandoned. Where are our think tankers? I cried. Let's go to memory lane. You remember our founding fathers built a foundation of many rooms. One of the rooms was the rule by family names, which turned into the popular slang, "Do you know who I am?" This slang is popularly attributed to Edward Wilmot Blyden, who served as Liberia's ambassador to Britain and France. According to studies, Blyden's use of the slang was not intended to demean anyone. It was his way of telling the West that black people are proud and dignified and must be given the chance to rule themselves. In 1862, Edward Wilmot Blyden was appointed Secretary of State of Liberia. In 1880, Blyden served as Secretary of the Interior of Liberia. In 1885, Edward Wilmot Blyden of the Republican Party contested for the presidency of Liberia against Hillary Richard Wright Johnson. Blyden was defeated by Johnson of the True Whig Party. Those names like Dr. Wilmot Edward Burkhardt Dubois, that's William Dubois, W.E.B. Dubois, Kwame Nkrumah, Henry Sylvester Williams, may all be referred to as the fathers of Pan-Africanism, but studies show that Edward Wilmot Blyden is actually the original father of Pan-Africanism, as evidenced by his writings and speeches in the mid 1800s, long before the Pan-African movement started in the 1900s. All these Pan-Africanists copied from Blyden. Most of the lyrics in the popular reggae star Bob Marley's songs are words copied from the writings of Edward Wilmot Blyden of Liberia. Blyden was a writer, a diplomat, and politician who was widely recognized as a critical thinker in developing ideas and that proved rather essential for Africans and the African diaspora. He was born on August 3rd, 1832, on the Caribbean island of St. Thomas. Edward Wilmot Blyden was a think tanker. Are we not an offspring of the think tankers? Yes, we are. But why is our politics not constructive? But you see, I have been happy lately, so happy, very happy, when for the first time in history, Liberians boldly voted for a think tanker. So happy when Liberians voted for a project manager. So happy, very happy when Liberians voted for Joseph Yuma Boakai. We have a think tanker in the house. So, can I ask you for a favor? Can you take a walk with Joe? Just a closer walk with Joe. I come in peace. And this mesmerizing piece here on the historical details of think tanking, he mentioned Edward Wilmot Blyden um, as one of the earliest of think tankers to emerge out of Liberia, and he was a well-respected man. And this caption is "A Nation of Think Tankers, Where Are They?" Part 2, reading by Dr. Augustine Mane Sumo, a contributor here to the Issues Room. Moses, welcome to What Type of Country Is This?
Take a
What
walk.
country is
Hey,
this?
Joe.
Moses, what type of country is this? When a designee collects the country devil, the Geo devil, and all to go fight for her, just because she can defend her own credential, that's all she needed to do. What type of country is it?
The destiny go
Foreign
and tell
minister,
Julie
right?
and he say, bring the culture through. She went to Kema and told the people, say, you gotta bring, you know, they got it, they got his,
Well, let me just
they
tell
got it
our big
devil.
brother, Dr. Amos, welcome. Thank you for joining
Oh
us.
yeah, yeah, Dr. Amos, it's a pleasure
I look
having
forward
you.
to seeing you in 2029.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad. It's a pleasure seeing you tonight. But like you were saying, Volcano, whatever country is this that a woman had to bring the entire Grand Cayman into the capital.
But what type of country is this? You invite the governor of the bank, you invite the deputy, all of them came, and yet they can't disclose whether $40 million was there or 20.5 million. What type of country is this?
Whatever country is this that the central bank governor created more confusion than providing clarity. So the guy thought, the people said, but governor, we not hear you. He's okay. Yes, my deputy. Deputy mounted the podium. She said, look, my people, we have not spoken to any of the president.
I don't know where they're getting that figure from. What kind of country is this?
What country is this, my man?
What type of country is this? Liberia. We walking in poo water. We're supposed to get you a job. Where you walk in poo water now, and then you won't get hired. What type of country is this? But what type of country is this? The man they appointed mayor. They said the man clean. They said, I saw you congratulating the man. I ain't even that person. But so now the man I said the cleaner or I said the mayor. Who's one now? What type of country is this?
The
Because
man
the man
he almost fitted. He showed leadership.
so that means he got a job. So I should
They
go.
give it to the man.
So I should go clean Pinsville too, so I can get the job in
It
Pinsville.
would make you say the mayor, my man.
What type of country is this?
At least the man took initiative, my man. It worked out.
Oh,
We just hope that we'll be able to have enough money.
so
But I can say,
that was a capture opportunity. The man saw it. He said,
yeah, the man went for it.
But let
And
me
then now the man named my man Jefferson could you fainting.
yeah. What type of country is this? Gabriel Daniels, when the
Mhm.
president makes a list of appointments and his chief of office staff change the original list.
Wow.
So are these guys playing a Tana McGee effect? Yes,
Gabriel,
your
Gabriel, you need to provide us more details.
what type of country is this? I'm
Wow.
a Freeman. When the nominee for the police IG position showed up to the Senate with his drug test results sealed in an envelope, instead of him having the government do their own drug test on him. Remember their own drug test. Oh.
The man took it own test, though.
What type of country is this? Minus sumo. When the Sandy becomes a credentialing for the government appointees.
Man,
What
so
type of
that
country is
the
this?
lawmakers have taken the executive
Let
power.
me finish quick. What type of country is this? Thomas Awaji, where the new government is not even completely formed, yet the people are disgruntled 2 weeks in. What type of country is this? Liberia, where there is a civil war over jobs. What type of country is this, Moses?
What type of country is this, my man? Where the man took a 4 more car payment, my man, and bought to get a good map.
Expecting to get job.
And the job can't come out, my man. The
Christopher
man
Wesley.
returns to America, my man. They say your vehicle gone. Oh.
Christopher Wesley, what type of country is this? People are leaving certain for uncertain. Yeah.
What
You,
type of
you,
country is this?
leaving for America where you got certain, or rather certainty, and you go into the uncertain nation of Liberia, all in the name of I'm going to hustle at what time?
What type of country is this? When you enter, when you enter the House of Representatives, it's like you're talking to a kid in kindergarten.
That big children playing ground.
That's serious. It's a serious child care facility. Everybody shouting over one another. But man, sit down.
Yeah. And you hear Musa Benedict, who already just joined the man talking plenty.
Oh, the man show authority. Oh.
Bob Blue, all he do, he just walk down, walk up and down. DJ Blue is just be walking up and down. Man, then our other guy from your Tumbo Village, what his name, my man?
Who, the representative from Tomo Village?
Yeah.
I even know it needs them, man.
Just in our corner, right where, way in our corner, he make it say nothing. I don't know he know English.
But man, the breaking news is this, Volcano. Yeke is on committees, oh.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Yeke is co-chairman on defense.
But you got a former rebel now, so why they put him on co-chairman on defense? If Prince Johnson couldn't be on defense,
no, that in the house.
Oh, but my man, the House and the Senate, yeah, stop it, man. But anyway, let's go to
But you cannot on sanction, my man.
What type of country is this that the House of Representatives only uses one microphone?
Yeah.
And be passing all around. Gabriel Daniels, what type of country is this? When the House of Representatives, one microphone is passed from one speaker to the other. What type of
the
country?
people are passing COVID from one person to another.
And especially they're making all that money. Oh. City mayor is a serious business that requires vision and creativity. So it's not just because you mobilize and clean the city.
Okay,
and you got you mayor now.
I mean, given the work they did, I think with government support, I may be wrong, but the way he was able to coordinate things, I think we should give it to him on that. He demonstrated that what Koji wasn't able to do for 6 years, they did it in few weeks.
But to be honest with you, the mayor job cannot be limited to cleaning the city, though.
No, it's administrative.
So if this is the premise for who this gentleman was appointed, because he cleaned the city, or because he mobilized and put people together to clean the city, then I don't know. But let's not do it only. Let's see how it plays out. Dr. Telford Amos says, whatever country is this, where a person called Dr. Amos and said he was Dr. Luther Tape and told Dr. Amos he was appointed ambassador to the United Nations, but must send him small amount of money first to complete the process.
What? So that how some of the guys operating?
So the guy impersonated as
the guy impersonated.
as Luther Tabet to get money from Dr. Ammon.
Yeah.
He was
So,
appointed
man,
to the United
you
Nations.
know, I'm working on your team also. You gotta drop their team, man.
Whatever country is this when the sanction officials are current lawmakers?
Yeah.
Whatever country
What
is
country is this? When Natana Marge is making decision, eh?
on education.
Yeah. What type of country is this that a former speaker is trying to make a comeback in the government by bringing expensive gifts?
And when he didn't do it for his people,
But Volcano, it tells you how unreliable, unstable our politicians are. Everything about George Weah for the past 6 years, everything clear in the House of Representatives. The people passed the 2023 budget within 7 minutes.
Hmm.
So today, you have a new sheriff on the block. And Chimo said, yeah, I got to fit in this cycle. My last money that I keep it, I will buy ambulance out of my own gift.
yeah, Moses. But anyway, good night. Let's tell
Good
the
night, my
folks.
man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll be back here.
Yeah,
But
my man. We'll be back. It was a pleasure for
throw
coming
this
here.
in quick.
Thank you.
Whatever country is this where the entire economy shuts down at 5 p.m. and we need a 24-hour economy? Whatever country is this, Flomo Livingstone, that Nathaniel McGee is asking for integrity? Whatever country is this, Gabriel Daniels, when government officials are taking their own drug tests, when drug tests should be taken at random after the sober, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, gentlemen, y'all, thanks so much for being here with us tonight. It was good having you guys. We'll be back here again on Tuesday by the grace of God. We have to call it a night. Moses, good seeing you. We'll catch
It's
up.
a pleasure.
Everyone who showed up here tonight, we say thank you so much. Have a good night. We'll be back here
Thank you.
uh, on Tuesday.
Mhm.